You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. And before we're going to power it on, first let's do an unboxing. Yeah, because I just wanted to do it with you. And you, doggy, because it still keep barking on the background. Really annoying. We're going to get the box inside the box. It's like freaking magic. Then we're going to get two wireless controllers. And first of all, the most important thing, the wicked smelly test. Ooh, it smells chemical-like. Oh, nice. I like it. And then let's take a close look what we're going to get in the bottom part. We're going to get the metal for the nice smelly chemical controller. Then we're going to get a piece of what's it, toilet paper, deluxe toilet paper. And it comes from information about the Android box itself. Because yeah, it's an Android box. But what's inside the second box? So the white box contains all the other parts, and yep, it comes with a power supply, and this is a 5 volt, so this is always like the dangerous thing. I had this too in the past. I had a lot of these adapters laying around. Sometimes you're using 12 volt, and in the end I fried one. Yep, I fried an Android box because I used the wrong power supply. Yeah, it was kind of horrible, but yeah, I can laugh about it. It comes with a normal control because when you use it like an Android box. And then here we're having where the magic all happens. The Hank 8K Ultra HD. What I like about it that this is just an actual box, an Android box where they use a custom sticker. I like with the box itself. It comes with some extra information. The S905X3. So this chipset is slightly better than the other versions. Android 9.0. Also a newer version because with the other one they're using like Android 5. And here 4 gigs RAM, already told you, and 32 gigabyte. We're going to unwrap this special part of the video. And there is nothing in it anymore. There is something we're going to take a close look. The Chinese chemical controllers. Time for some warm smelling. But let's take a close look at the controller itself. So what I already mentioned, like this is like the chemical controllers, but this is not like the worst kind. And the reason I'm saying the worst kind, they still feel kind of slippery. I don't know, this is like actually rubber on it, like slippery joysticks. Ugh. But the thing is, like some of these controllers are really awful, like horrible D-pad. This is not the baddest one, and overall it's not that bad. Why can't I get it open? My finger's stuck on it. Damn it! But in the end, what we're going to get is an USB dongle, and of course, both controllers will have a separate dongle. Some of these boxes have one dongle, 2 controllers, and then we're going to get 2 AAA batteries, 4 batteries, and the on-off switch over here. That's also lovely when you forgot to power it off. But there's an automatically shutdown that saves the battery life. And damn it, my cover is over there. Need to get it. Oh, this is so pure satisfaction. Here comes the best one. Go away. Pure satisfaction. Alright, so what are we going to get? Oh, I already see my fingers on it. Oh, that's the reason why I needed to put the plastic on it. Okay, so we're going to get the TF card over here. So this 32 gigabyte is not really necessary, only if you want to purely use it like an Android box. But what we're going to get is this gigantic card, 256 gigabytes. So yeah, it's a maximum big one. Okay, put it back in. In for the DC 5 volt, spiff out, AV out. Take consideration the AV out doesn't work with Emulation all the time. They tried it in the past with different versions, couldn't get it to work. That's the reason I didn't make a video. HDMI out. Then we're having RJ45 input for Ethernet connection or internet. And then we're going to have USB 2 and USB 3.0. Yeah, but the thing is like only 2 USB ports, so in my opinion, that's a little bit of a bummer. Because if you want to have 4-player, you need to have like an USB hub. Not a big deal, but it wasn't included the package. So, okay guys, so it's time for the wicked nerdy talk. So we're having here the S905X3, that is a Gore-Tex A55. In other words, it's a quad-core CPU that runs on 1.9 GHz, 4 gigs of RAM. That's quite interesting because the previous model only having 1 GB. Then we're having the GPU that is an ARM Mali G31, MP2 that is basically a dual-core running on 850 MHz, and 32 GB of internal storage and 256 GB of external/SD card storage capacity. that we're going to use especially for Emulation. Okay, so the first time that we're going to do is booting it up, and we're going to do it without the SD card, so you can see that it will boot up into the Android function. And it shows you the x96 Max Edition. But if you want to see more about the Kinhank Super Console X Max and you just want to have some more information about the Android box itself, I can make a separate video for you guys, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that, so I can focus mainly on Android gaming and everything comes with Android. But I just want to focus on emulator in this case, so let's do that. Okay, so I have booted up the system with the SD card installed and everything seems to be working, and that's been booted up in the software that we want to have. Oh yeah, so let's take a close look at it. Let's do some testing, but first let's take a close look at the menu and what can we even play with this device. Because I can tell you, it's like freaking magic. For the people who are just tuning in, so basically what they're using is this piece of software called Emulation. And by the way, you can just download it for free and can just install it on an Android box yourself. And there is something you need to take consideration. If you're using an Android box, you will still be limited to certain platforms. With this new Maximum Edition, with this new series of chipset, we have some better options, especially we're having more RAM now, a little bit more juice under the hood. But the question remains, what can we play? So we're going to especially focus on the higher end stuff, because the 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, that will run just fine, but it also runs fine on the cheaper boxes. Take that in consideration. So let's get into it and let's see what we're going to get. First, let's start off with a two-dimensional game. So when it comes to PlayStation Portable with the older boxes, the old school two-dimensional stuff did glitch out. So let's see how it runs now on this system. I get the idea that it runs way smoother than before. So with this extra juice with the Maximum Edition, we are able to play PlayStation Portable two-dimensional games. Ugh. Go wild with a grenade, baby. Yeah. Okay, next up, let's play another game. This one has more, let's say, 3D parts to it. In other words, it's more demanding. And the reason I wanted to try just to see what happens. Oh, by the way, and if you're wondering, no, it doesn't run God of War. But I noticed that everything works way better than when it comes to the first editions of Super Console X. Of course, we needed to try out PlayStation 1, but I can tell you, like with the first generation of Super Console X, we can already play it. But with this system, maybe you can push it a little bit further with 2 times the resolution or internal resolution. But if you just want to play it on native resolution, it runs very well. And I was getting like a Mario Kart feeling with this game. TNT, yeah! Somebody got it on the head. Next up, one of my favorite fighting games. For the people who are familiar to my channel, I play this a lot. I played this game a lot. Back in the day on my PlayStation 2, I played it to death. Alright. I can hear that it's stuttering. I can see that it's slowing down. Oh, absolutely. In my opinion, so this makes Dead or Alive 2 unplayable. This game needs to be fast action. Alright, next up, Sega Saturn. This is a system that is basically new to the Super Console X Android. Of course, it could be already installed on the previous model, but the thing is, like, this is a very demanding system for emulation. For this old school Darius game, I love this game by the way. It runs okay. But I can already tell you, when you're going to get into the 3-dimensional games, you will see the same problem like with PlayStation Portable. If you want to play or emulate Sega Saturn, stuff like this, you just need to have like a beefy PC that can run these things. But if you want to play a 2-dimensional game like this, you can see that it runs very well for even a cheap Android box. With, of course, some slowdowns. Damn, I can get shot every single time. Alright, so let's take a close look at this game. And the reason why, because with the previous... Okay, I died. With the previous Super Console X's, we just had not enough power. But it runs so much better now. Let's get back to the second part, because this is even more demanding. There's a lot of stuff going on the display. And you can hear it, that it's stuttering. It's still playable, but... Alright, next up, N64. My personal Cruising the USA test. And it failed the test big time. Look at this. Stuttering! Oh yeah! But it makes this game freaking unplayable. Maybe it's getting better when we're going to progressing in the game, but this is just freaking awful. Slow motion. But this is what you're going to get with N64 on cheap Android boxes. Yeah, mixed performance. A mixed bag, how do you like to call them. Wow, this is really bad. I have seen some shitty emulation, but this is still not better. So maximum my ass! Nothing maximum about the Super Console X. But I was afraid it was going to be happening, because this, for example, with the Raspberry Pi 3 and 4, you did see like the same stuff going on. That some of these freaking emulators are so hard to emulate, and we just need to have more power, especially when you're looking at the PC edition of Super Console. You can see like it runs this game flawlessly because we're having so much more power on board. But how about cheating and all the other stuff? Quick load, quick save, you name it. Yep, you can do it. When pressing both joysticks at the same time in a game, you're going to open up the RetroArch menu. And with this, we can do some fancy stuff. If you want to mess around with the settings, you can do it. You can close the content, you can restart the system, making quick load, quick save, features you don't have on every single machine. I'm not talking about Super Console, but just in general. And there are so many cool things you can do with this. You can even rewind and set up your controls if you're having some issues. And for the people who want to know, yep, you can cheat. So here we're going to get a lot of options if you want to set it up. And again, if you have any problems with your controls, for example.